We've all been there, staring at a process that doesn't seem efficient, thinking there has to be a better way to do this. Most people just talk about it. But our guests today, two students who actually went out on a quest to make things better. Hello, and welcome to the Pawley Lean Institute Leading Lean podcast at Oakland University in Rochester, Michigan. I'm your host, Laura Klein, a special lecturer at Oakland University and also coordinator for the Pawley Lean Institute. Thank you for joining us. Each episode, we will be talking to students and experts, including academic, community, and industry leaders, to share concepts and practices of lean thinking to streamline processes and eliminate waste while providing value from the customer perspective. Today, we're talking to the next generation of efficiency experts, OU students who took lean from the classroom into community organizations to make a difference. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. Thanks for being here. Joining us here at the Grizzly Podcast Studio are two students, Nicholas Subagyo and Amy Rowan, both seniors who also happen to be Division I athletes here at Oakland University. Nicholas is a senior in industrial and systems engineering. He's also a distance swimmer in the mile, 500 yards, 200 yards freestyle at OU. He has held two community service lean internships, one at Fleece and Thank You most recently, and another one at Lighthouse Food Pantry in Pontiac. Nicholas also has a yellow belt certification. Amy is also a senior, and she's majoring in the Human Resource Development program. She is on the cross-country and track and field teams. She has completed also two community service lean internships, one with Forgotten Harvest and the other where you joined Nicholas, working together at Fleece and Thank You most recently. She is a yellow belt and also green belt certified here at Oakland University. With that, welcome, and let's just get started.
Yeah.
The word lean. A lot of students, when we talk about what lean is, I think there are some different perceptions of what lean is. Mm-hmm. And some students haven't really heard about it. So in your own words, when we talk about describing what lean is, maybe to your peers, how would you do that?
Well, in my own words, I would describe it as optimizing processes and minimizing inefficiencies. Yeah.
Yeah, I would kind of like piggyback off that as very much so just simply finding a more efficient and time-conducive way to do things that is optimizing productivity.
And you've both had a lot of lean coursework, correct? What types of classes have you taken besides your green belt certification and green belt and yellow belt certification?
Last year at the winter semester, I took an online class called Flexible and Lean Manufacturing Systems.
Yeah, so I actually I'll be graduating with a certificate in lean. So I've had a decent chunk of lean kind of coursework, along with there's a few lean courses that are implemented into the HRD program. So yeah, it's all been very useful and helpful information.
So what really drew you into lean coursework, and how did you get started on that path?
Mm-hmm. So it was kind of interesting for me. Like the class I took was a requirement for my degree, but at like around the same time, I was looking for an internship in the summer. So I reached out to the dean of industrial engineering, and he recommended me to like reach out to Dennis Wade, head of the Pawley Lean Institute. I was looking for a summer internship. Unfortunately, it was already filled, but Dennis offered me a spot on the summer lean workshop that was 3 days, and I thought it was very interesting. I had a really good experience, and that made me want to try out the internships last semester and continuing this semester.
Great. And Amy, what drew you into lean coursework and programming?
Yeah, so I actually learned about lean in my intro course for HRD. So Dennis came in and kind of introduced it. We watched the video that's on the site and all that. So that's where I got to learn about it. And then right after class, I talked to him about it. And then I had a one-on-one meeting with him after that just to kind of learn more and just, like, talk to him about, like, is this really going to set me apart? Because big in the HR realm is just like, what can I do to set myself apart? And I talked to him, and it's just like a really cool thing to add to my resume and really elevate me and make me more kind of, what's the word?
Kind of a differentiator,
yeah,
I would say. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So you both certainly have done quite a bit besides the coursework.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about your Lean projects, your Lean internships, your community service internships. Those are a little more flexible than maybe a traditional internship.
Yeah.
Let's talk about with the workload that you have, plus being a student athlete and trying to manage all these things. How did that work for you to sort of, I should say, do it all, if you will?
Yeah, I would say it's a very big challenge for me because like I'm in my senior year. I have lots of projects. And like this semester, I had my Horizon League conference championships for swimming, so it was a challenge for me to like prioritize, like, do I really want to like focus on swimming, or before I started my internship, I was thinking like, was I able to add this to the workload of the semester? I was like, hey, I got the opportunity, like, why not just like give it a try? The good thing is, like, as you said, it's flexible. Like, we have the option to come in any day as long as we're able to meet with our supervisor, Taylor Greer, at least, and thank you. So it really worked out for the two of us. We were able to like set schedules and basically, just
see what
come
worked
in.
best for you with training, with events that you have going on. It gave you a lot of flexibility.
Yes, yeah, and like I did have to miss 1 week of my internship because of the conference championship, but it worked out.
You were able to make up the time and get the job done. Well, that's great. And Amy, what about you? Just trying to budget all of this as a student athlete and also trying to finish your criteria you need to for your program.
Yeah, it definitely is a struggle at times for sure because you have a lot on your plate. Like for Nicholas and I, we're both training probably close to 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 for me, and then also adding on competitions and all of that. So the hours vary a lot. So yeah, it's very much so balancing how things work and just saying, okay, if I can't do it this week, I'll do it next week. And then also with the internships, it was very flexible of also being able to do things at home too, which was really helpful because at times Nicholas and I would get on a call at like 9 p.m. or whatever.
I think more work was done at home than like on site because it's mostly like thinking, discussion, and like we visit on site when we need to like see something or like implement something.
And so just briefly tell me a little bit about that project that you worked on most recently. I know it had to do with eliminating waste of scrap material. So just if you can just give me a very brief overview.
Yeah, so Fleece and Thank You is a nonprofit that specializes in like processing fleece blankets for sick children in the hospital. And we were assigned to help out with like the scrap management because like these fleece blankets have to be perfect. Like they can't be cut wrong and they should not have any defects like stains or spots. So like any of those imperfect blankets like tossed, I'm like they sort of already have like a disposition for like the different types of like substandard blankets, like whether they want to like generate revenue or like donate it or like repurpose it. But like often it just gets like all these different types of scrap, like they just get mixed up and it takes up lots of space and also time for the volunteers. So like with like having like the space cleared up, it'll definitely be more like productive for the warehouse too, and also like having these different types of scraps like figured out, it'll be very helpful and very like more effective for the company moving forwards.
Great. And Amy, for you, what was it like, the experience, kind of adding on to what Nicholas had to say about making a difference there at Fleece and Thank You, but the experience of taking some of the classroom learnings and putting it actually into practice? I mean, did you feel that the experience of being submerged into that environment helped you, along with the collaboration you had with the team member and the team at Fleece and Thank You?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you don't realize how little you feel like you learn in a class until you're put in like the actual environment and you're just like here, figure it out kind of a little bit, which is great. And I think there's just so much you continuously learn through Lean, which is amazing. And then also it's just like a lot of like, oh, what do we do now? And with the Lean internships and all that, we also have the beautiful opportunity of having mentorship with that. So when we were stuck, when we were unsure what to do next, we could email our mentors and say, this is all the issues we're hitting. This is what it is. What can we do to help get past this issue or find a solution to this issue? So I think we also have that beautiful capability as well.
Yeah, definitely a game changer when you have experts, professors, industry experts that can help you and guide the path for you and still give you the room to explore and problem solve on your own too.
I remember like day one of us visiting, like I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much, like it's a lot for me. But like with the mentor's help, like we were able to like narrow it down, just like focus on like a specific aspect of the scrap management system, and that really helped.
One thing I will add with Please and Thank You, it's very different than all the other internships I've been at, or even just like my one last semester, simply being it was a very small and young company. So we kind of hit a lot of like a little bit of stopping points of there's no statistics, there's no data, there's no things to go off of. So it was kind of realizing, how do we now find this? Because a lot of companies you work with, they have this data. But for Fleece and Thank You, they didn't have that data, which is fine. But it was, again, like Nicholas said, a little overwhelming because you have no data and you have nothing to work with, which it's cool and amazing because you have the liberty to do so much, but it's also overwhelming and stressful because you have the liberty to do as much as you want.
Best of both worlds in a way. You really got to learn a lot, but in doing so, there were some growing pains along the way. So, well, that's great. So I'm going to ask this question. Either one of you can answer it. But before you started, you kind of had this textbook definition of lean. But as you moved into your internship, how did that differ? So you kind of touched on it a little bit, Amy, that, you know, I'm in the classroom, I'm learning about lean principles, and all of that is great, and that's really the foundation. But until I really actually had to put it into action, what was when did it sort of connect for you that, wow, I'm actually making a difference, I'm driving change, and I'm really trying to fix things, make it better at the organization you were at? Either of you can take this one.
Yeah, so I think it's definitely different. It just you don't realize how little you know, like I was saying, until you're kind of jumping headfirst into it and kind of pushed into the deep end, if you will. But it's such a cool experience to be able to kind of, from the classroom, you learn all these things and you know all these things, but it's like, how applicable is it? And like with a lot of the classes, I will say I've had the pleasure of having great professors that we do use a lot of very like applicable ways, but it's like, okay, we're organizing our closet. How can we make organizing our closet the most efficient? So like, it's great, yes, but it's like, now, how does that work and translate to the work field? So it was really cool to kind of understand that little things can also be big things as well with lean.
That's great. And so we touched a little bit, we were just talking about sort of, common themes of lean. And so I'll ask you then, Nicholas, what's a common maybe myth about lean, like it's just for manufacturing or it's just about cutting cost, or that you'd like to debunk, or just kind of give us a little different scope as to what it entails?
So like when people think of lean, like they might think like, oh, you're just reducing inefficiencies, and like also like from like lean courseworks, you learn about like these like lean principles and theories, like 5S or the value stream mapping. But like in reality, like it's not that straightforward. There's a lot of collaboration happening, communication. There's tons of disagreements that you have to deal with, and like just like the pool of ideas that you have to choose from in order to like apply it to the company. But like I said, like with this collaboration, it really helps narrow it down, and just working with people, because you're improving the process for the people too.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I
yeah.
like your point about it's not just text. It's not textbook. There
Yeah,
are all
it's
these
very
other
different.
things that come
It's
up
very different.
that
Yeah.
keep it really fluid. So, so that's a great point. So both of you have considerable experience to put on your resume: coursework, certifications, internships. Tell me a little bit about how you're using that to give yourself a competitive advantage through your resume and career marketing tools.
Yeah, I think putting it on your resume is great. I think employers and all that value variety. So I think through having different internships from Lean or for me HR, having variety really helps. Obviously, you want it to be applicable for the job that you're applying for because you don't want something that's completely unrelated, but Lean is very applicable in all careers, so obviously it looks good. And then also it's great conversation starter because especially in HR, it's not heard of. Every interview, even mock interviews that I've done, people are like, wait, what's Lean? And you're like, well, let me tell you.
Yeah, right. Great conversation
Yes.
starter. And opens a lot of doors, it sounds like, from an opportunity perspective
Yes, for
you.
sure.
So I'd like to thank both of you, Amy and Nicholas, for joining us today on Leading Lean. This is our inaugural episode, and your perspective has really been invaluable from a student perspective who has not only done the coursework, but you've been able to be out in community organizations, work with mentors and professors that can help guide you and help you learn as you do the work out in the field. And so your perspective has been wonderful to hear, and I thank you for taking your time to join us today.
Yeah, I'm honored to be part of this episode.
That's
First
great.
episode.
And we're happy to have you and look forward to really exciting things for both of you. I know you both have internships scheduled, additional internships scheduled for this summer.
Mm-hmm.
So, Nicholas, you are going to be at, it's going to be Sparrow Hospital,
yes.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
very good. So, taking that into the healthcare
Yeah, it'll
industry
be very
is going to be
different this
different.
time. Yeah.
So, you'll have a whole nother perspective. And Amy, you're going into Forgotten Harvest,
Yes.
where you're going to have a lot of opportunity to make significant change there too, both unique and exciting experiences. So again, thank you, Nicholas and Amy, for joining us today. We really appreciate having you here and all the valuable input you've given for students who may be looking at Lean in the future. With that, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this episode of Leading Lean. And I am looking forward to future episodes and welcome you back to learn more about how Lean is making a difference at Oakland University and out in our community and various industries. Thank you for joining us. If you'd like to learn more about the Pawley Lean Institute, please visit oakland.edu/lean. Thank you.